stretch reflex is a reflex. So it consists of the reflex arc, which includes stimulus, which is carried via the afferent nerve fibers, which reach the spinal cord. From the spinal cord, the efferent nerve fibers supply the effector organ and the response is produced. Now, in case of a stretch reflex, the stimulus is muscle stretch. So, if I am stretching the elbow flexors, when I do elbow flexion, when I do elbow extension, the elbow flexors are stretched. So, that is the stimulus. For elbow flexors, elbow extension is the stimulus. Now this stimulus will be carried via the afferent nerve fibers to the spinal cord, and the response will be produced via the efferent nerve fibers in the effector organ. So the effector organ for the stretch reflex is the muscle that is being stretched. So now this is the muscle, which consists of extrafusal fibers. So these are the extrafusal fibers. And then inside we have the intrafusal fibers. Now intrafusal fibers are of two types, nuclear bag and nuclear chain. This bag-like structure is the nuclear bag fibers, and this chain-like structure forms the nuclear chain fibers. From here, via the afferent nerve fibers, information is passed to the spinal cord, and then from the spinal cord, the motor response is produced. So the afferent nerve fibers, these are the afferent nerve fibers, 1A and 2 fibers. 1A and 2 fibers, these form the afferent pathway. They reach the spinal cord, and the efferent nerve fibers are the alpha motor neuron. They supply the extrafusal fiber of the muscle that is being stretched. So now, how does the stretch reflex work? The stimulus is muscle stretch. The receptor is muscle spindle. So this is the muscle spindle. These are the extrafusal fibers which form the part of any skeletal muscle. Then we have the intrafusal fibers. Intrafusal fibers are of two types, nuclear bag and nuclear chain. This bag-like structure is the nuclear bag fiber, and this chain-like structure is the nuclear chain fiber. Both of these have different function. The nuclear bag fiber detects change in static and dynamic tension, and nuclear chain fibers detect only dynamic change in the muscle tension. So now from here, the stimulus, receptor, then the afferent nerve fibers. So the afferent nerve fibers are 1A and 2. So these are the afferent nerve fibers. They reach the spinal cord, and then from the spinal cord we have the efferent nerve fibers. The efferent nerve fibers are alpha motor neuron, and then the effector organ, which is the muscle that is being stretched. Now what happens, to explain this with the help of an example, whenever the elbow flexors are being stretched, that is when I extend my elbow, the elbow flexors will be stretched. So the stimulus is muscle stretch. The muscle spindle will get activated, and via the afferent nerve fibers, this information is going to reach the spinal cord, and then from the spinal cord the motor fibers, which are the alpha motor neuron, will resist this lengthening. When a muscle is stretched, it lengthens, but as this information reaches the spinal cord, via the motor fibers, slight contraction of that same muscle is produced, which is the reflex, and that helps to prevent overstretching of that muscle. So this is how the stretch reflex occurs. Whenever I am stretching the elbow flexors, that is when I extend my elbow, the muscle spindle is going to get activated. This information will reach the spinal cord via the afferent nerve fibers, which are 1A and 2. These fibers will send the information to the spinal cord that the muscle is being lengthened. Now, what will the spinal cord do? It will send signals via the efferent nerve fibers, that is the motor fibers, to produce slight contraction, which is the reflex that occurs. And why is that important? It helps in preventing overstretching or over lengthening of the muscle.